Hey folks, Mav's Dad here with another watch review. I think I might have one of the best undiscovered weekend beater watches out there. This is the Casio Edifice EFM100-1AV 200 meter diver. Now I wish Casio customers had given their watches really cool nicknames like Seiko customers do, such as the Seiko Black Monster, the Sumo, the Tuna, the Starfish. But they just haven't given Casio watches cool nicknames like that, and EFM100-1AV really doesn't roll off the tongue. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll take a look at this thing, we'll look at the features and functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of the watch. So let's open this thing up. Typical Casio box. There's something really interesting in here that I think is new that Casio has started doing. Okay, you have your watch, some packaging here, and you have your manual and your registration card down here, but also in here is this little thing. Now, this basically makes sure that you have an authentic Casio watch, and I'll show you in a minute how it works. It's really neat. There's a hologram sticker on the back of the case back, and you pass this over it, and if a certain section of that hologram turns dark, you know you have a genuine Casio watch. So you might not be able to see it on video, but we'll take a look at it anyway. So we'll put this over here for just a second, get rid of all this other stuff, and let's take a look at this. Now, like I said, I think this might be one of the best undiscovered beater watches out there. I mean, it's a really, really well-made watch. Just from holding it, I can tell it's very well made. Let's take the sticker off. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and put up the specs on the left-hand side of the screen. You're looking at a 50 millimeter case. It's 12 millimeters thick. It has a 20 millimeter resin band. The dial has a texture on it, and I hope you can see that. Really, really nice textured wave pattern on the dial that I really, really like. Kind of reminds me of some of those Omega Planet Oceans and a couple other watches that have really nice textured dials. You have a day and date function, a very large day and date function, which I really, really like. I wish Seiko would take note of this, because a lot of their day and date complications, except for the Black Monster, they're kind of afterthoughts, especially on the 200 meter solar diver that I have. That date window is just tiny. It's located at 4 o'clock and it is just tiny. But on this Edifice, this Casio Edifice, it is very large and very readable. Really nice. Going back to the dial again, you have applied markers on all the indexes. Really nice. I'm not quite sure what type of luminescent paint this is. I'm sure it's either I'm guessing it's probably actually a Casio proprietary luminescent paint. I don't think it's going to be Super Luminova or anything like that. Obviously not Seiko's Lumibright, but it's just a proprietary luminescent paint. You're looking, obviously, it's an analog quartz movement. You have your hand, your quartz hand, your second hand, I'm sorry, your hour hand, and your minute hand. You also have a chapter ring, an inside chapter ring with some markings, with basically minute markings, 5, 10, 15, 20. If you can see that, let me get a little closer here. You can see that silver chapter ring right there. And then of course you have a unidirectional bezel. It has very, very nice click action. This might be the tightest bezel I have ever encountered. And I've reviewed quite a few watches. This thing does not move at all. And as y'all probably know, I love a watch that lines up, where the bezel lines up perfectly with the 12 o'clock marking, and this one does. I love that. And I love a bezel that doesn't have any play in it. I do like this kind of royal blue bezel, kind of a matte finish on the bezel. The case has some really nice polished areas. Actually, it's mostly all polished except for a couple kind of satin finish areas right here on the lugs. But anyway, the crystal is a mineral crystal. You're not going to get a sapphire at this price point. You know, I mean, that's good enough. I mean, you kind of get what you pay for. The mineral crystal's fine on this. It's also waterproof to 660 feet, which is 200 meters. The band is very hard. This resin band is extremely stiff. So this would be a prime candidate to put a NATO strap on. Absolutely. I mean, this band is just ridiculously tight and stiff. So what we'll do is first let me show you that little security feature. You're probably not going to be able to see it on camera, but we'll take a look at it anyway. If you look on the case back, of course you got a screw down case back there, you'll see this hologram sticker, and inside the box they give you this little security, kind of like security window And when you pass it through, you're probably not gonna be able to see this, but anyway, when you pass it through, the left-hand side of this hologram, this band, goes dark, which means it's a genuine Casio Edifice watch. So that's kind of something cool. I haven't seen that before. That's a little something to give you a little more peace of mind there. So that's nice. I like that. What else here? You have a stainless steel buckle on the band. Again, really, really stiff. Not happy with the band at all. Let's go ahead and put it on the wrist. So there you go. I mean, it has really nice wrist presence. It's not too flashy. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's kind of 50 millimeters is kind of turning out to be my sweet spot for me personally. Like 47 to 50 is really nice. So it feels good, except for this band, again, being ridiculously stiff. Let's take it off. Trying to think of anything I missed on this thing for you. The applied marker, the Edifice logo, is applied as well. So that always, whenever you see applied markers like that, it gives the watch a really nice, it gives the watch face some nice depth to it. You don't want to see a whole bunch of just screen printing where everything on the dial is flat. You want some raised surfaces to give the dial a little bit of depth to it. And that Edifice logo being applied is really nice. Also, the Casio logo right down there kind of being hid by the minute hand right now, that's also applied. I'm not crazy about the second hand being blue. I wish maybe they had used a different color, maybe a red or a yellow, or just kept it white. I'm not crazy about the second hand being blue like that. That's just an aesthetic. That's just an aesthetic preference for me. I would have preferred it to be a different color. But man, that textured dial, that wave pattern really, really makes it look nice. Makes the dial look nice. I like that a lot. And those that day and date really jumps at you. So one of my key, I guess, specifications for a watch, I have to be able to look at it and read the time within like 2 seconds. I don't want to be looking at the dial for more than about 5 seconds to figure out what time it is. That's why I like black dials with white faces or white dials with black hands. I like something that's extremely legible. I don't want to have to, you know, figure out some sort of algorithm to figure out what time it is. I just want to look at the watch, glance at it, and find out what time it is immediately. And this Casio definitely does that for me. Now this is their Edifice line. This is kind of a step above for some of their other kind of, I guess, entry-level lines. Reason being is this has a screw-down crown, which really shocked me. This watch is about $85 on Amazon, and for a screw-down crown to be on a watch like this, I thought that was really cool. And of course, you know how a screw-down crown works. You unscrew it, you pop it out first position, sets your time. You pop it out second position, that sets your day, and third position sets your date. So really, really nice to see a screw down crown, especially since this watch is waterproof to 200 meters anyway. You really kind of need a screw down crown for the case integrity, so this thing doesn't get wet inside. So that's really nice. Really like that. Plenty of you got your crown protectors here. Plenty of protection for the crown. Now, speaking of the crown, I wish the crown had a little different pattern on it, so it was a little bit easier to turn. I wish it had like a knurled pattern on it. It's not hard to turn, it's not hard to unscrew and screw down, but they could have made it a little bit easier. But not bad. But to have a screw down crown on a sub $100 watch is really nice anyway. Looking at the case back, again, just a regular normal screw down case back with that security hologram on it. And that's really about it, folks. Not much more to tell you about this watch. I really do think it's an undiscovered treasure so far as the weekend beater category goes. And I actually might keep this one. I might keep this thing. So I'm trying to think of anything else I forgot. I think I covered it all. So if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I've gotten a ton of new subscribers lately, and I really, really appreciate that. I'll put a reminder of that in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, as well as I've launched my new Mavs Dad Watch Reviews website, and I'll put a reminder of that at the bottom of the screen for you so you can take a look at that. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put those in the comment section, and I'll put a link to this on Amazon down in the description field for you. And that's about it, folks. If you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to hit me up. And I've got some more reviews obviously coming. I actually have a review coming of the new SUP case, unicorn beetle case for the Galaxy S6. I got a ton of positive feedback on the SUP case for the LG G3. So I figured I'd do a review of the one for the Galaxy S6. so y'all can take a look at that. And again, folks, that's about it. Until the next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.